Hey everyone, this is Freedom Raven, and the first episode for the new CBS show, The United States of Al, has been released, and I've already covered this show because of the backlash that it got online when the trailers dropped, and I've written an entire article about it for the Geeky if you want to check that out. Long story short, this show is supposed to bring forth some well-written representation when it comes to Muslim characters, specifically Muslim Afghan characters, and the premise itself is very interesting. It's quite serious, it has real-life implications. It's basically about an Afghan interpreter coming to America after helping the US during the war over there, and apparently the creatives wanted to talk about how actual real-life Afghan interpreters, a lot of them are still stuck there and their life is endangered and they're still waiting for the US to call them and give them security and all of that stuff. So there is a lot of stuff that you can mine, but when it comes to it being a CBS comedy, I'm not really sure. And again, one of the biggest backlashes was that even though this show is supposed to give us Muslim Afghan representation on the small screen, the lead character isn't of Afghan descent, and that is kind of like, it's like the MCU trying to give us a Miss Marvel live action TV series. However, Miss Marvel is played by an actress who isn't of Pakistani descent, so it doesn't really work per se. But you know what? The creatives have been defending this show. They're like, you can't judge this entire show by just watching the 30-second promotional trailer. So give it a chance. And you know what? Let's give it a chance. You might end up pausing the video if I want to talk about something. But you know what? The show is right in front of me. Let's play. It's opening up with Riley picking up Al, the Afghan character. Okay. She doesn't know that her brother knows Pashto? Oh, okay. So that's Awalmir, or Al. So he's happy to see him, which makes sense. You know what? The good thing is that he didn't get detained at the airport. Okay, we're getting emotional beats as well.
You haven't stopped for traffic lights in Afghanistan?
No, we are too busy. We have places to go.
I'm not really sure about his accent.
There's a lot to see. I can't take you to Vegas. Won't drink, won't gamble. Not trying to show me naked women.
True, but there is nothing in the Quran that says I cannot ride a roller coaster through a tiny New York.
Whew.
You definitely have to come with me to Burning Man.
Oh, Lizzie, don't.
Who is Burning Man?
It's a what?
What is a what?
Burning Man.
It sounds like a who.
There is no Burning Man.
He doesn't know about Burning Man?
Picture this.
He doesn't have internet access or something?
Kids run around like crazy people, light everything on fire, and then leave.
Are you trying to make me homesick?
Oh, or they're taking jabs.
When do I get to meet $8 for that chicken? I do not think so.
Oh no.
I will give you 4. What? 4 or I am walking away.
Oh no.
Can't change the price of the groceries.
Okay, I'm walking away. Look at me. I am walking.
Does he not know how shops work?
Lizzie puts everything back. We are.
Oh no. Like I said, does he not have Wi-Fi or internet access or something?
Okay, Sean, you are good. You are a
Dad.
Yeah, the beer
No,
thing.
we talked about this. No alcohol.
Oh, right. Oh, sorry. No, your son should be sorry for talking to you with that tone of voice.
How are you?
They're like checking the boxes.
Come on, I made dinner. Don't forget, you can't have pork.
Well, maybe if you're mad, are you a Muslim or are you Jewish?
Dad!
Calm down. Could have fixed it.
From Afghanistan?
It's not the moon. We have Wi-Fi.
Okay, so they have the internet.
It's fine.
And he's still confused about certain things.
When do you see your daughter? My favorite helicopter pilot.
Mm.
Once he even let me see it. Longest 4 seconds of my life.
So that's what's going on with Lizzie. Makes sense.
Wedding.
We are so blessed to have walked away with our lives. Alhamdulillah.
Couldn't they have made this a drama instead of a comedy?
You miss it though.
No, why would
Yeah,
you say
because
that?
there's a lot that can be talked
Say
about.
our mom have you trapped in the car. Let's talk about your marriage.
I'm sorry I didn't tell you, okay? Besides, you had enough to worry about hiding from the bad guys.
I think it's boring. A little gossip would have been nice.
So he's basically here to fix their lives.
I was embarrassed.
But what about Al himself? What does he want to do in his life?
Making everything look nice.
Yeah, with the hands and the gestures. I still think that Al would have worked better as a queer character.
Look at how he refused to go to counseling. I just had enough.
Yeah, Riley needs help.
I've only been here one day.
But Al is here to help. He's basically
Hey, whose side are you on? I'm in the middle.
a version of the magical Negro trope in media.
Moi aussi, I can learn.
Okay, he knows French.
Alors, quelles autres belles choses a-t-il dit sur moi?
Par où je commence? Vos chevaux.
Your hair, your eyes,
Oh,
your
come
laugh.
on.
I mean... Oh, we're also going to get flashbacks. That's interesting. Yeah, the time he gave him a gun with no bullets. Okay, so this show, I ended up checking the Rotten Tomatoes score and it's not good. They really dragged this show and they ended up watching, I only watched a pilot episode, however, certain critics were given like 4 or 3 episodes and basically even in the upcoming episodes, this show is going to continue being a mess. There are certain emotional beats that are appreciated, but overall the writing isn't necessarily funny. And as you can tell from the pilot, the main focus seems to be Riley and his family, even though the main focus should be Al. We know what Vanessa is going through. We know what Lizzie is going through. We know what Riley is going through, and of course we'll end up seeing how Riley and Vanessa closing in on their divorce is going to affect their child Hazel. However, as far as Al is concerned, we don't necessarily know a lot about him. Like, he came to America. What does he plan to do next? What are his motivations? Does he have any friends back in Afghanistan that he wants to talk to? Like, what's happening there? And from the reviews that I just skimmed through, apparently in the upcoming episodes we won't, at least in the upcoming 4 or 5 episodes, we won't necessarily be seeing that, and that is disappointing. And again, the main actor not being of Afghan descent, that really kind of takes me out of the show. But then again, as far as I can tell, this show is primarily made for white audiences, and as far as the majority of white audiences are concerned, in my opinion, I don't think that they will look at Al and they'll like clock him as not being of Afghan descent and clock his accent and all of that stuff. So maybe in that respect, they will accept who Al is, and they'll be like, you know what, people from Afghanistan are like that, and they look like that, and they talk like that, and all of that stuff, which is an entirely different conversation on its own. As far as the comedic tropes are concerned, I can really see this show, the writers of this show, even though the writers working on this show include the writers of Afghan descent, as far as I could tell while watching the pilot, they were like checking through certain comedic tropes, which I'm like, you know what, do something different. Okay, so the main comedic trope is basically Al being surprised by being in a new country and experiencing a new culture and how he's different. The scene in the shop, I was like, okay, we're doing this. And then there's apparently there's going to be an episode where he goes to get his driver's license, and there's a woman who's wearing shorts, and Al is going to be very like he begins stammering, and he is basically very confused because it's the first time he has seen a woman wearing shorts and showing legs, and basically comedic tropes that should have worked in earlier 2000s or even like 2012 or 13, and I'm like, we're in 2021, do better. Also, I'm interested in seeing if Al will get to meet other interpreters who were invited to US from Afghanistan. Is there some sort of support group that he can be a part of? Because again, as far as Al is concerned, he doesn't necessarily look like a well fleshed out character, and his mannerisms and all of the femininity in him, which I'm like, if he isn't going to be a queer character, even if it comes across as a bit stereotypical when it comes to queer representation on screen, if he isn't going to be a queer character, why are you making said character give us these hand gestures and eye movements and all of that stuff. It doesn't make sense. And again, this links to certain critiques that people have when it comes to showcasing POC men in media, about how whenever a POC person is portrayed in media, more often than not, they appear as sexless, they appear as part of the model community, and they appear as people who don't have agency, and they're basically here to make the lives of white people comfortable and all of that stuff. So I really hope that because this show is titled United States of L, I really hope that the show doesn't go down that road. But yeah, let me know what you thought. I'm not really sure if I'll be doing a written review of this for the Geek Theory. I'm not really sure, but if I do, the link to that will be down in the comment section below. Anyway, if you have seen this show, let me know what you thought. Until next time, stay happy, stay safe, stay blessed. See you guys later.